All right, welcome back to the dining room table where we're playing another game of Saga. Today we're doing a clash of warlords between Anglo-Saxons and Vikings. So we're doing 6 points, and this is our board so far. We've got woods, we've got rocky ground, we've got a swamp, we've got a second set of woods, and we're doing deployment A where we're just going to be up to 12 inches in. Sam on his side, he's brought Viking. No.
Yeah, I'm doing Vikings.
You were doing Vikings. Yes. Okay. All right, doing Vikings. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 points warriors, 2 points of Hearthguard as warlord, right? And over on my side, I'm doing Anglo-Saxons. They're not painted yet. They're in progress. But I don't know. It's what I'm kind of passionate about right now, so I want to play them. So I'm going to have a warlord and then 3 points of warriors. Usually my guys in mail always indicate Hearthguard, but I needed some way to kind of differentiate between them. So they're warriors. Then I've got 1, 2, 3 points of levy. And we'll come back with deployment. All right, so here we are after deployment. Over on the Viking side, he is using like the Pict and Scottish models from Footsore, but they're going to be Vikings today. That's what he's looking to do for his next project. He wasn't really crazy about the Scots board. But anyways, we've got 12 warriors, 8 warriors, 8 Hearthguard, warlord, and back here, partially in the woods, is 12 warriors. Then on my side, I've got 12 levy, no option. So they've got that armor 4 that I like. Then I've got 12 warriors, warlord, 12 levy with bows, 12 levy, no option, and 12 warriors backing them up. And we're going into Anglo-Saxon turn 1. All right, so here's my board for turn 1. I'm limited to just the 3 dice, so I'm not planning on doing a whole lot. I'll give you a little bit of my plan. My opponent's outside of the room right now. I'm planning on really just moving up. I've got the ranged advantage, so I'm going to use my Weo Bay to push those archers up and then shoot a bunch. Try and kill as many as I can. His Hearthguard are the closest. If I can pick off some of those, it'll be a good return on my dice, I think. I'm going to use Truce to dump some fatigue. Okay, so Anglo-Saxon turn 1. Used Weo Bay to push these guys up into the rocky ground, then activated them to shoot twice over there at the Viking Hearthguard. I killed 3 guys total. He used his my fatigue on the second one. So I only had 1 fatigue on, and we've already started his orders phase, and I used Truce, so the fatigue got pulled off. So I'm up 3 Hearthguard so far, going into Viking turn 1. All right, the Viking board for turn 1 looks like we got 1 activation on the Hearthguard, 1 on the warriors. He's going to have Asgard, where he can respond to one of my charges by pulling off a fatigue. Frigg, so he's going to be able to get some extra attack dice or remove a fatigue. And Thor, where he's going to get extra hits off of his 6s in melee. Let's do it. All right, so Viking turn 1. We have the warriors starting to move over here to hug some terrain. Won't be getting a bonus yet for the cover until he gets all the models in, but I think I scared him with his archers over here. The Hearthguard moved up a little bit. These guys started marching through the woods, and the warlord moved into the woods. But he's still got a fair number of abilities on his board as far as Asgard for removing fatigue, Frigg for removing fatigue or getting bonus dice, and Thor for that extra hitty bonus. Going into Anglo-Saxon 2. I use my board for Anglo-Saxon 2. I've got 3 activations for my units that are larger than 10 models. That's the nice thing about the Anglo-Saxon board. Well, double-edged sword about the Anglo-Saxon board. Rather than being based on levy, warrior, Hearthguard, it's based on unit size. Less than 8, 8 or more, and 10 or more. Then I've got Truce, once again for pulling off fatigue. Crash of Shields, where the enemy has to discard attack dice equal to half my number of models. And overlapping shields, it gets me some bonus defense dice and attack dice if I have more than 10 figures. All right, Anglo-Saxon turn 2. I tried to get as much as I could out of my archers while he didn't have Odin up. Basically, I just activated these guys 4 times with the 3 dice and my Weo Bay, yep. And just pumped shots into him, but I wasn't rolling as many 5s as I could, and he kept using my fatigue to go up to 6. I only killed 1 guy, so not a whole lot, but I've still got Truce, Truce, overlapping shields, and whatever this is called. Crash of Shields, ready to go. Going into Viking turn 2. All right, we got the Viking turn 2 board here. Looks like we got 1 on Hearthguard, 2 on Warriors, And then we got Asgard, Thor, Frigg, and we've added Odin. So that'll be a pain for my archers in the future. All right, let's do it. All right, Viking turn 2. Basically just everything moved up. This stuff moved over here to get all the way in the woods. This guy, his base is just barely touching, so I think that then we'll have all models in the woods, because my understanding is if you touch it, you are in it, so they will get cover. These guys are getting close over here. These guys are getting even closer, right on the edge. These guys stepped out of the woods, but now they're going to be free to move, full speed. And the warlords over here. And he's still got like 5 dice on his board over there, it looks like, for when we do clash. Going into Anglo-Saxon 3. All right, here's my board for my turn 3. Not in a super attractive position, because he's got a loaded board, so I don't know if I want to charge him. And not great for shooting at him, because he's got Odin up there. So I got a bunch of board dice up here, because I rolled all axes, which sucks. Nice. So I've loaded up everything I can, every ability I can, and then, well, you'll see what I'm about to do. Anglo-Saxon turn 3. I decided to just bite the bullet and shoot him anyways. So I used my wheel bay to attack him. He, of course, popped Odin and put 3 fatigue on me. I used my combat bonus to get 2 dice, but then he used 1 of my fatigues to raise himself to armor 6, so I didn't want to use the second combat bonus die, because when your plan is to roll 6s, that's a shitty plan. Although now I wish I had left a die over on Select Feared and could have activated him to shoot again, but I didn't know I was going to use my fatigue. Anyways, long story short, I killed 1 guy, but I still have a fair bit on my board. Going into his turn.
Yes.
All right, so Viking 3, this is going to be their board. We got activation for Hearthguard, activation for Warriors, and pretty much loaded with this pretty standard stuff. We got Loki for punishing you for using abilities. And he's added Uller to his board now, so he can get those rerolls. So let's see how this goes. All right, so Viking 3. I believe first thing we did was the Hearthguard charged in here, because I had 2 fatigue on me. I did catch him off guard with Crash of Shields, and I had popped a Valiant Heart, so I counted as 14 models and then made him dump 7 dice. So that worked out really well. And I think I also popped Overlapping Shields, which gave me 2 defense dice. Long story short, he did pop Thor, right? Popped Thor.
Yep.
Had not popped Loki. So he only had like 3 or 4 dice though in the end, and got 2 hits, right? And to which I saved both with my 4 dice and bounced him. Very nice. We each have 1 fatigue. Oh, and I even killed one of his guys. Yep. Then over here, this is where I used Thor. I apologize.
Yes,
Thor there.
that's right.
Over here, he charged in, barely was able to reach with 1 guy, touching right there at that point. I did close ranks, so I was down to only 3 attack dice. And he popped, like the whole board, Uller, Thor, Loki. Once he popped Loki, I just left my board untouched. I wasn't going to give him any more dice. He hit me a total of 12 times because he had 3 6s, but I saved well, and I got 8 saves out of 12 dice and lost 4 guys. And I managed to kill 1 guy of his with my 3 dice. So that worked out really okay. Going into Anglo-Saxon 4. Small amendment on Viking turn 3. He forgot his Warlords free activation, so we moved him up. And he forgot he had to die here for some warriors, so we pushed them in there so they're ready to strike here. All right, now we're going into Anglo-Saxon 4. All right, Anglo-Saxon 4 board. I've already put a helmet into Valiant Hearts, so once again, all my units are like +2 in size. I've got Truce, so I can dump fatigue on units that are larger than 10 at the start of my opponent's turn, or my turn. I got Closed Ranks, which is going to get me some extra attack dice if I outnumber them. I've got good old Crash of Shields, which is super powerful when you got a size 12 unit, or size 14 in this case. They'll have to dump 7 attack dice. I've got Overlapping Shields, gives me bonus attack dice and defense dice. Call to Arms for the Orders phase, so I can boost my levies up to Fight Like Warriors. And I've still got this combat bonus just sitting around, and 1 die up there on Select Feared. All right, so Anglo-Saxon turn 4. I started off using Wheel Bay to fire at those guys. I got something stupid like 4 hits, 5 hits. Was it 5 hits?
5 hits.
5 stupid hits. Because I did get an extra combat bonus die in there. But then he saved all 5 of them, so that sucked. Then over here, I used a die to charge into those guys, and I popped Crash of Shields to really lower their attack dice, so he only had 4. He hit me once, but I didn't save it, so I took 1 casualty. I hit him 10 times. He saved 5 and got pushed back. I think that's really all that happened. I'm about to pop Truce, which will remove fatigue from all 3 of these units during his turn, but that's it. Going into Viking turn 4. All right, so here's what I'm up against for Viking turn 4. We got 1 activation for warriors, but then we got Frigg. So once again, he's going to be dumping fatigue or getting some attack dice. Asgard, so he's going to respond to me and remove some fatigues. Thor for doubling hits on 6s, and Ullr's for rerolls. Let's make it happen. All right, Viking turn 4. All right, so we started off with attacking me with a unit of warriors into my archers. Popped Heimdall. Had a bunch of attack dice, used my fatigue, I believe. Did I have a fatigue there? Mm-hmm. Okay. Lowered me to armor 2 and really messed me up. I lost 4 guys. I did actually roll pretty well at my save, so I only lost 4. That wasn't too bad. I can't complain. And I still outnumbered him No, I didn't outnumber. We were even, and he pushed back. Did I kill 1 guy there?
Yes.
I killed 1 guy, it looks like. Then over here, he attacked me, activating there. Did he use my fatigue again, looks like?
Yes.
And I killed 2 guys, though, I think. Mm-hmm. And he popped Ullr and Frigg to get that done. But I left his fatigues on, and we're going into Anglo-Saxon 5. Mm-hmm. All right, Anglo-Saxon turn 5. I got 1 die for activating a unit of 10 or more figures. Truce for dumping fatigue at the end of the turn, or start of my opponent's turn. Defenders of the Kingdom, so I get bonus attack and defense dice. Good old Crash of Shields for using on a big unit and making them discard attack dice. Overlapping Shields, again, attack and defense dice. And still Call to Arms, but I'm not using it yet this turn. Anglo-Saxon turn 5. So my Warlord inched over with his determination. Gave a We Obey order to these guys to charge the unit of 7 warriors that were here. I popped Crash of Shields to knock down 6 of his dice, because that's a unit of 12. So we only had 1 die left. Then I did boost it with Defenders of the Kingdom for a couple of extra dice. He popped Asgard, I believe, though, to remove his fatigue. But nonetheless, I rolled pretty good and killed 5 of them off. So there's only got 2 left and they bounced. Then over here, I used a die to activate these guys to charge the unit of 4 warriors that was here. I popped Overlapping Shields or Defenders of the Kingdom, whichever one I didn't use over here, to once again get 2 extra attack dice and 2 defense dice. I think that was all I used, but it was enough to exactly kill all 4 of them. And they were just close enough to spread fatigue there. Mm-hmm. And I did not take any casualties because I made 2 saves. Mm-hmm. And that was a real good round going into Viking turn 5. Yes. All right, Viking turn 5. We have 1 on the combat bonus. Looks like Loki, Thor, and Heimdall. And that's it. All right, so for Viking turn 5, basically all I did was he moved his Warlord up here. The Warlord's looking to go down swinging, it looks like, with a fairly loaded board. Mm-hmm. Going into Anglo-Saxon 6. Okay, so it's Anglo-Saxon, turn 6. I did pop Call to Arms. I moved my Warlord over here. I was potentially going to maybe set up a second charge here, but I did just the 1 charge with my warriors in there. I don't think I popped any abilities. I popped Overlapping Shields or something, so I had 2 bonus attack dice and 2 defense dice. He popped, I think, the whole darn board, which stopped me from using a Crash of Shields. Then he got quite a lot of hits there. He did bring himself down to armor 4 though with the Heimdall, so I did hit him 4 times, and he failed to save. So he died, but he killed 9 guys. Viking board can be so scary when it's got a pretty loaded list of abilities, because he had Thor and Ullr and Heimdall for the extra dice. It added up. It was nasty, but I got the Warlord. It's the important thing. So then, since I didn't need these extra charges over here anywhere, I then just decided to charge these guys over here. And then I popped Crash of Shields, so we were even at 12 dice. I knocked 6 dice off of him. But I still only hit him like 4 times, and he saved 1. So he lost 3. In the end, I lost 2. So, not huge. But at this point, my Viking opponent is ready to concede. And we'll go on to the after-action report. All right, so that was a very successful outing for the Anglo-Saxons. This was my 3rd time playing them, I believe, but the first time I recorded it for the channel. I'm enjoying the composition. I like that it plays a little differently than some of my other factions. A lot of my other factions I fall into taking 2 points Hearthguard, 3 points Warriors, 1 point Levy.
and then it all feels a little too samey. So I'm enjoying having no Hearthguard here. It does make my warlord much less attractive to use in fights. I'm a little hesitant to put him in danger when I don't have any of those bodyguards to fall back on. If I was playing with relics, of course, I would take that like Shard of the True Cross, where basically any model can work as a bodyguard. I think that would be a fantastic addition to the Anglo-Saxons, being able to use Levy as bodyguards. Then the warlord's going to be just a wrecking machine. But most of the time we play without relics. I did first try out the composition that I think a lot of people were thinking of using the first time they read the Anglo-Saxon rules in 2nd edition. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just take 6 points of Levy. I didn't really like that much. I found it kind of boring, and nothing really hit very hard. Nothing was generating more than 6 dice when it attacked. Yes, of course, there is the one ability where you can make all of your levies fight like warriors for a turn. But that was dependent upon rolling helmets. And the one time I tried it, I just didn't get helmet like the whole game. So it ended up being real boring. I didn't feel like I was doing much damage. I'm really enjoying the 2 12-man warrior blocks. Those are pretty scary. And they're hitting really hard, and I don't know, I enjoy them. Plus, I get to finally use those Anglo-Saxon Thane plastic models that I got like 5 or 6 years ago when I got into Saga and hadn't done anything with. As far as the board itself, I'm certainly digging that Crash of Shields ability, I think it is, the one in the top corner where the opponent has to discard dice equal to half your number of models. I'm really enjoying sending that into like a unit of 8 warriors, for example, popping that and taking away almost all of their dice. That's fantastic. Because I think a big part of the Anglo-Saxons, of course, is, you know, keeping those numbers up. So if I can just get rid of the majority of my opponent's dice, that's going to help and go a long way towards doing that. As soon as I drop below 10 models, I'm going to really start, like, most of my abilities just lose half of their potency at that point. So it's going to be tricky in the future once people catch on to that. And I start dropping to 9s and have to either start switching to different units or spending dice on my ability that gives me, like, my units count as 2 more. As for the game itself, we played Simple Clash of Warlords partially just because I was feeling kind of mentally fatigued from gaming the night before. So I had the range advantage, so I just moved into that rough ground there in the middle, that rocky ground, and took my archers, and I was going to shoot them early and often because I had the range advantage. I'm not scared to fatigue them. I'm willing to put fatigue on them, activate them over and over and over again, just to get as many shots out there as I can before they die. I think my opponent made a slight tactical error. He didn't push up as hard as he could on the archers, and instead, a common response is people want to get cover, so they move into woods. But I'm not sure that's really always the smartest thing, because it's really just slowing you down to getting to those archers. And until you get to them, until you address them and knock them down, I'm just going to keep shooting them, because then you're losing models and I'm not. I think I managed to kill 4 Hearthguard from shooting, like 2 in the melee, and maybe like 1 warrior. So they certainly got their points back. Though admittedly, I did put quite a lot of dice in them to keep them shooting a lot and even to protect them when they did get attacked. So that's my first thoughts on Anglo-Saxons. Stick around, and hopefully there'll be more in the future. Thanks for watching.